Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on internet censorship. The big news coming out of Gateway Pundit, simply shocking. Republican-led U.S. Senate first major legislation after 2020 election is to appease big tech. Big mistake. Big mistake. You wonder why it's easy for Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell to tell the Georgia voters, hey, think twice before you vote Republican, even though Trump says to vote for those guys. By the way, I think if I was in Georgia, I would listen to Trump. You know, you got to trust Trump on this. He's looking at a strategic move. If they're rhinos, they're rhinos. There's nothing you can do about. But if they're not, you might as well vote for him this time. After this, if they take the Senate and Trump's not in, we're effed anyway. So you might as well vote for him. But this this is it's sort of karma for the workers in Google. You know, you guys for years you gleefully participated in censorship. Well, here's what's coming. Your job is now going to be outsourced to a guy who came to this country illegally. So now we're going to be censored by the same sort of people who used to do telemarketing calls. You guys have effed it. You've effed yourselves by working for Google and all these big tech giants and not keeping it free. Oh, instead, you had to make sure bad Donald Trump didn't get in. Orange man bad. Well, Orange man would have kept your jobs safe. Uh, Instead of addressing the problems with Section 230, says the Gateway Pundit, since tech companies are oblivious or are obviously editors of content now, the shocking election fraud that occurred in the 2020 election, the U.S. Senate passed Senator Mike Lee's visa guest worker bill. He has been pushing for this for years to bring in more cheap labor for U.S. companies while stealing good paying tech jobs from U.S. workers. So, suck it up. Because guess what? Learning to code won't help you now. Yep. This is why it's Fairness for High Skilled Immigrants Act of 2019. All you big tech guys, remember all those high paying jobs in Silicon Valley? You know, they were fighting over people, fighting over you, and your salary just kept going up, and you got a foosball table and your own Keurig at your desk. All that's going away because they're going to get a guy who came to this country probably illegally or barely legally on a work visa, which is legal. That's legal. And, well, now it's legal. And he's going to come in and do your job for nothing. You know, it's not going to be 100K a year. He's going to do it for 50. No benefits, and he's going to live in a crappy ass apartment with 7 roommates. Because in his country, he'd be living in a crappy ass apartment with 7 roommates and not making any money. And his plan is simple. He's going to build himself up and build up his family, and eventually he'll move out of Silicon Valley. You know, he'll move up the scale a little bit, and eventually he'll save up his money because he's living with 7 guys in a cramped apartment. Because, you know, immigrants do that. They want it bad. They want the American dream bad. But you fat American idiot, they're not going to hire you anymore. You're too expensive. You're too pricey. Yeah, you priced yourself right out of the market. So now with this law, a law that you helped succour, by the way, because of the censorship, because you helped these neocons and neoliberals get into office, because, oh, Orange Man bad, they're going to take your jobs. They're going to take your jobs. Yep. Oh, I guess you'll have time to finally do your YouTube channel. Not that YouTube is going to let you do it. You know, maybe you could do Twitch. Oh, wait. They'll probably censor that too. In fact, most of this stuff will be censored. You won't be able to make money. I'm making a little bit of money on this channel, but not enough to live on. Some people make a full-time living on this stuff. Those days are going away, because what they needed to do was have a real debate on 230 protections and chastise YouTube and Twitter and all these tech giants, Facebook, and chastise them and tell them, you're not going to get 230 protections anymore. We're taking them away. Here's the resolution. We'll take it away from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, unless they adhere to certain guidelines in the United States, in the Constitution, in the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech being the top of that. And if they violate that, away go your protections. That's what they should do. They're not doing it. Instead, they've made it so when these expensive, fat American workers object, they'll just fire them. And they'll bring in some immigrant who will work for the cheap and won't complain. He won't complain. No. Beats living where he was living in India or wherever he was living. Yeah, this is America, baby. And you're going to be out of work. Oh, but don't worry. Those immigrants you were so woke about and wonderful and you wanted to open the borders, they're coming. And they're taking your jobs. They took our jobs. Yeah, you can make a meme. You're going to have time to make a lot of memes because you're not going to have a job. Oh, the tech giants. They're doing what every big company does. I'm so infuriated. I get infuriated when people do stupid things. And big tech guys used to be very libertarian. They used to be very wary of government. And you got guys like Zuckerberg, who I think just got rich and became, I couldn't even say they're Republican. They're just, or conservative. They're not neoliberal. They're just greedy, in my view. Jack Dorsey is just greedy. He's just greedy. He just wants more money. He doesn't care anymore. All this stuff, he's so burned out on it. You just take one look at him. He just looks so burned out. His whole brain is just like, I can't even think about this anymore. I don't care. I just want to go back to my penthouse suite with my $6,000 hookers and have a good time. Why am I even here? I've done so much coke. I've done so many drugs. Had so many women. I'm so bored. I can't. That's the way he looks to me. He looks like he's strung out on life. And censorship's just getting worse. They're banning people from Twitter and Facebook daily, just about daily now. Today, one of my favorites got banned, Razor Fist. He's banned from his Twitter account's locked, and I hear his Facebook page is gone. Funny how that happens when you just put out a book, Razor Fist? Razor Fist is a good guy. I love his stuff. And, I'm sure he said something they didn't like. But, he's been banned before. And he usually comes back. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. He's certainly very vocal about what's happening in Arizona. And very knowledgeable, too. So, I don't know. We haven't gotten word from him, which I'm a little worried about. I don't know what he's doing. He hasn't made a statement yet. I checked his Parler account, and I don't think he's put up a video yet, but this is what's happening. I'll get banned eventually. I'm so small, I could be in the category of who cares. I'm really happy, though. I finally got over 2,060 followers. I'm like at 2,070, something like that. Going back up again, but it's really tough to get followers now because the algorithm. Whenever I get a hot video, it's like you could see in the stats that like it starts to go up and then it just sort of plateaus. It just sort of plateaus, and you think to yourself, why does it plateau like that? That's not the way it should be. It should go up, 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 and then at some point it should just start going down. No, it goes up and then it just plateaus for a while and then it goes down. And that to me, when you see that pattern, what you're really missing is this, the peak. They're deadening the peak, I think, on these political videos in order to keep people from getting too united on any particular front that they don't like. And they don't like Trump, and anybody who supports him or supports anything he likes, no, they got to go. And that's not going to stop. It's going to get worse, not better. And the leftist idiots who supported this, yay, they're all going to be censored. Oh, boy. Yeah, the hammer's coming down on them next. If Biden gets in, oh, boy. You know, you'll just see censorship like nobody's business for these guys. They're just going away. All of them. All of them. They'll ignore the right wing guys. They'll just call us all lunatics and conspiracy nut jobs. They'll still, censor people, effective people, and then, leave the wackos out because that helps their cause. But, it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse, and I wouldn't expect too much help from Congress. Trump even is, he's ham-fisting it, calling for the destruction of 230. I think it's too much. He's gonna kill his own base with that. But I can kind of understand why he's doing it. I don't think he really knows the subtleties of the internet all that much. Even the king troll of Twitter. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets back in. At least we can have a discussion. Because if Biden gets in, there's no discussion. It's going to be hate speech laws. You watch.